Hello, NeuroWulf,
Hello.
NeuroWulf. Um, Thank you for joining me today. Can you please say who you are, what are you doing, and introduce yourself a little bit, please.
Well, I am Wulf from Slovenia. I'm a music producer, composer. I've been doing music for, I don't know, maybe 20 years, something like that. I started with a trumpet when I was 6 years old, and then I
Me too,
was
me too. I started with a flute
really
and then trumpet, yeah. But I'm going
okay.
to tell you, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, and then I was playing that for about 6 years, and then I started with drums, and I was playing drums for like 7 years and played in death, black, heavy, even some power metal stuff
Yeah.
during my high school years. And then I was mm, making some my own music on the side and created Neurotech, which is a kind of an electronic metal hybrid. And I was doing that for about 10 years. And then I restarted it this year because I also have like this NeuroWulf project, which is a trance music project, and NeuroAxis, which was uh, ignited this year, which is more of a ambient, down tempo stuff. So that's that's basically it in a very short couple of
In a
sentences.
nutshell.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Uh, Apparently, I tried to find out everything I could beforehand so that I have some ammunition to talk about. And but there's not much to find about you, just that you have very different projects for very different music. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm absolutely with that because I think it's very boring if you only I'm only do metal and only this and
Hmm.
that. And I think also quite clever from you to put things in different categories, because as much as I don't like categories and stuff, I also often like fringe stuff. Um, it is easier for the normal public to say, oh, this is ambient and this is this and this is
Hmm.
that, because then otherwise, I mean, I don't know how old you are, and you don't have to say,
Well, I'm 33. It's no
oh,
big secret.
you're
Yeah.
a young guy. Let me tell you. No, but I wanted
Yeah.
just to allude to, I grew up also with Fate No More, and this was kind of the first crossover stuff where every song was different. There was a pop song and a metal song, and so and but I realize it's not so easy for an artist to get a footing in the market if you are all over the place. I mean,
Hmm.
once you're an established name. eh, Anyway, a lot of words. I want to just say you do it right, man. It looks like you streamlined your production. And of course, I'm more into the metal stuff, so this is how I found you, because I really like the mix, Ministry or something, the mix of metal and electronics. So yeah, how did this develop? So I mean, you touched on it very very shortly, that you played the trumpet, but from the trumpet to the to metal, it's where was the progression? How did this happen? I mean, what kind of music grew up with, and what kind of inspired you to start all these projects?
Hmm. Well, it was with my parents. They were listening to a lot of 70s prog rock and like bands like The Doors and
Oh,
Uriah Heep and lots of other things. So I grew up in a very mm, how do I say, very broad musical
you had,
landscape, so to say. So it
yeah, you had a
was
wide
everything.
perspective already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I, especially with bands like The Doors and Uriah Heep, they were always kind of experimenting, and every song had, I don't know, a different genre, and I don't know, lengthwise. They were long songs. They had pop songs. They had everything. So it was in a way part of my DNA to make something that isn't really in a box, so to speak. So when I was younger, I mean, in elementary school, then I discovered metal, like Metallica, Iron Maiden, and
The good
it all
stuff.
grew from there. Pantera, and then it was the black metal phase with Dimmu Borgir, Emperor, all kinds of Scandinavian metal stuff. Then more industrial, like Fear Factory and I don't know, all kinds of bands. So yeah, it was really just developing my own musical taste, discovery, and then when it comes to making music, is just putting all the potatoes in the pot and let's see what happens. So yeah,
And boil them hard.
yeah.
Um, yeah, but still, I mean, I get this, and this is of course. I think it's really cool that you have a broad range of things and influences that you can trace to where you are today. But still, I don't, I get the music influence, but how did you get to make music? That's the leap I want to go from, listening to all of this
Hmm.
and playing the trumpet. There is a missing link, How did you play it in a few bands, or how did you kind of gut into the music making thing? Because you seem to be quite successful here.
Yeah, I mean, I was working on my own music since I was, I don't know, 10 years old. I already had, when I was playing the trumpet, I had like an acoustic guitar and synthesizers and stuff, and I would play music from my CD player and just kind of rip off, I don't know, basic chord progressions and stuff, see what works and what didn't work. So, uh, but when I was like in the early 2000s, when I was also playing drums, you get a cracked version of FL Studio and start making just, techno or trance or
Don't
whatever.
tell me anything bad, please.
Yeah. No, it
This
was
is
just
long
a
time
thing.
ago. This is long
Yeah,
time
this
ago.
this
Yeah.
is long time,
Hmm.
long time
Hmm.
ago. But yeah, it was in the age when computer recording technology kind of uh, developed enough, so every home computer had, like you can have a basic recording even if you have like a Logitech standalone mic. You can play
Hmm.
guitar and record it, and then you can have you can double track it with another instance of, I don't know, some video Windows media recorder or something like that, and it puts two things together, and then it kind of develops.
So you're really well. I mean, you're really self-taught, basically.
Yeah.
So you did this from an early age, and you were just in the lucky position, obviously, that your parents had a lot of instruments laying around,
Hmm.
and you only got a formal education in the trumpet, or also
Hmm.
in piano or something else.
No, it was only a trumpet, but uh, I also failed music theory, so I'm not. That's the one of the reasons why I stopped playing trumpet, because I was good at the instrument, but music theory was never kind of my thing, so I dropped out. But yeah, I mean, uh, it's a trial and error with everything. Basically, it's
Hmm.
with you get fed up with things, you try new stuff, and yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No problem. That's so. So it sounds like you always did the music on your own, right? So you never played in a band, or
Oh, I played. I
okay.
played in the bands when I was playing drums for, I don't know, in three bands, something like that. We started with like a heavy metal, power metal. No, even we had a first my band was like a rock band. We played with couple of guys playing like Lynyrd Skynyrd covers and Eric Clapton and stuff like that. And then I got a double foot pedal, and then we have to play metal.
Of course, if you have a
So
double foot, but you have no chance. You have to use it, right?
yeah. So I played in a band which we play like power heavy metal, and then from that band it kind of uh, restructure it in a more death black metal and some thrash stuff also. So yeah, we were writing together at that moment, but I always wanted to try my own stuff for even when I was playing in those bands, getting into more electronic stuff, and that merging of metal and electronics was the thing that really inspired me to do some of my own stuff. So yeah, that was in 2000. I mean, from 2001 to 2007, I was playing in bands. So in 2007, I started with Neurotech, and that's all the rest is history.
Yeah, like we say. Yeah, no, cool. And you know, it sounds a little bit. I mean, I'm not a drummer, but I played bass in a rock band, and I always try to get my mates to put in more electronic stuff, because I would always wanted to merge. I like rock music, but I also like it with some electronic infusion. And so, did you try that, or I mean, was it that they didn't want it to, because some of them are very okay, it's only rock and nothing else, you know? Okay, yeah, so
yeah,
it
I was trying a
sounds
bit.
like my story.
Yeah, I was trying a bit, but I mean, every year I was making intros for the band for a couple of years, and every year it was more electronic. You know, you start with this symphonic, cliche stuff, yeah, and then it was every year it was more industrial and stuff like that. So we also wanted to do some backing tracks with electronics. So it was kind of a stepping stone, but it was, I mean, I was too confined in a band environment to push my ideas too forward. So I don't have to compromise, and yeah.
No, I get it. I get it. So, been there, done that. So, okay, but yeah, this explains a little bit your background. Thank you. So, and now you're doing it all on your own, or do you have collaborations you do, or is it just you at the moment?
Yeah. I mean, it was with Neurotech. We started with kind of a band environment, but they were only like for live. So everything I did in Neurotech and every other projects, it's all by me.
Okay. And when you kind of you got this split personality basically, so you have Neurotech, and then
Yes.
you have I forgot how you called the other ones.
NeuroWulf and NeuroAxis.
NeuroWulf and NeuroAxis.
Yep.
And this happened because I mean, do you work together with a label, or I mean, because this sounds a little bit like somebody would tell you, you know, maybe kind of to not how you say be too tough on the listener. You know, that you kind of put this in this category and this in this category. Was there somebody who told you this, or was it kind of your own idea to split these out of your
Yeah, I mean,
catalog or something?
it's the same thing when you said about Fate No More, like they had all different genres mixed together. So even with Neurotech, there's an album called Evasive, which is 100% electronic and instrumental, and it could be a NeuroWulf album per se, but it didn't get much recognition. And when you're doing that kind of stuff, it's hard for the main fans. I mean, for the core fans, it's pretty much it doesn't really matter what you do. But if you want to kind of build a brand, and especially nowadays with Spotify's and playlists, and when everything is so heavily categorized, it's much easier to have that in kind of a separate compartments, so to speak. So it was just a natural progression, because and also I'm I get bored with the genre, and it's even easier for me to say, okay, now it's NeuroWulf phase, now it's NeuroAxis phase. I just finished the new NeuroAxis album yesterday, and I'm happy to say, to kind of I'm glad that I won't have to work on any new ambient stuff for the next 6 months. So now it's metal time. So I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I mean, I'm really looking forward to this stuff. I mean, I have my little radio show and my little promotion channel. So please hit me up. When you come out there, so I can do my little promo stuff.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, of course. So you're really working because for me, I mean, I like more shorter jumps around. So it seems like you worked for 6 months on ambience because I think I get bored much faster than you then. Because for me, if you go through my playlist, for example, on Spotify, it's a pop song, a metal song, industrial. I really like to mix it. So that I'm always. I mean, but every song is kind of different. I mean, sometimes you go a little bit more goth. I like also. But yeah, okay. Here are you different than me because for 6 months I could not stay in just one genre. This would be kind of very. I mean, it's possible, but nah, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, you have. It takes a certain character, I think, to kind of put yourself in a position to say, okay, I'm gonna finish this, whatever it takes, and then the certain kind of boredom to say, okay, I'm fucking done with this, So,
and if you have, I mean, because but if you have an idea now for your more metal stuff during your ambient phase, you record it on the side, or you kind of shut it out completely. Oh, okay. Because this would be
Yeah, I have a session like when I just throw in ideas, just simple like 15-second segments, and okay, I can do this and do this and do this and do this. So now I just opened it this morning, the Neurotech test session, and it's like 45 minutes of material, but it's not really songs. It's just, okay, it's an idea for this, idea for this, idea for this. So when I'm now that I'm working on like making songs, I have a large pool of just kind of what kind of sounds, what kind of instruments, what kind of production techniques, and so it's much easier for me and to get inspired, not to just sit around for another 6 months and figuring out what to do.
Yeah, no, you don't struck me like somebody who's just sitting around. And also, what I was just thinking is, even with the ambient sounds and stuff, you could kind of do your own crossovers or your own remixes, because you could use a ambient song and some of the chord progressions in there you can also use for metal. I mean, it's maybe I gave you a new idea. No, I think you thought about this yourself. I'm pretty sure.
No, it's on the next album. So on this new NeuroAxis album called The Change of Constant, it's a Neurotech track reworked as an ambient piece. So it closes the album, and I'm taking the just like you said, chord progressions and melodies from the metal version and putting into ambient. So, and I did that like 10 years ago also with the Blue Screen Planet EP, which is like just only 2 songs, and one is 10 minutes and one is 8 minutes. So the first metal symphonic one is it's metal and symphonic, and the second track on the EP is basically all the same melodies and harmonies in an ambient versions. And so it was for me very naturally to go full ambient with another project, because it was already kind of a blueprint for it. So
Okay, no, but I think that's an interesting part, because I think you can really. Okay, I mean, I think you're doing what you want to do, but you also can kind of lure in people from one thing to another, because you know they hear something what is kind of what we heard before, and now it's a remix or something. Like I like if you have like 80s pop songs and you make a heavy metal version out of it, and so you still hear you know the bones of it, but it's something new, and it's cool, and it's fresh, and it's heavy. So so you have your kind of own crossover stuff. So you have these three distinctive outlets. Did you also perform with them live? I mean, now we have Corona, so it's out of a question. I'm pretty sure. Where were you again? Sorry, in which country are you?
Slovenia.
In Slovenia, and I think it's the same there. You know, lockdown and whatever. So I mean,
it's pretty much the same in all Europe and the world.
Exactly.
So,
That's why, I wasn't sure, because I was talking with someone from the Ukraine, so I didn't want to say something wrong. Sorry. Okay, Slovenia. I write it down.
Okay.
So
not Slovakia, you know.
Yeah, that's very good for me, because I mean, you know, I'm a German, so for me it's Czechoslovakia, and this is not true anymore, as you know. There's Czech Republic and Slovakia, and now it's Slovenia. I'm not pretending that I'm so well versed that if you give me a map right now, I would have to look for it. I mean, I kind of would look east somewhere, but I would find it for sure, but it would take me, you know, I'm not like but it's the same with me, you know. Just even in Germany, I cannot point to everything. If you say this and that, I have to look at the map. I realized, okay, this has nothing to do with music, but I realized that I'm a little bit ignorant in this, because for me, there are so many things you can put in your head, you know, and that are important. And this is for me not very important, because most of the time I'm here in my hometown and I know where things are, you know, and if I need to go somewhere else, then I put in the time, look at the map, and see, okay, you know, with a train or however I get there, how do I get there? And then, you know, you understand what I'm talking about?
It's information diet. I mean, if
exactly.
we would just listen and watch the news all day, I mean, you grow, I don't know, insane. It's too many people in the world. It's too much stuff going on. So you have to have certain restrictions on your mind, basically.
Yeah, information diet is a nice word for that, actually.
Yeah.
Also, with the news, okay, I don't want to go there unless you want to, but also the bad thing with the news is, of course, only bad things
Negatives.
or very important things. You know, nobody tells, okay, you know, this power plant hasn't blown up in 2 or 20 years. You know, this is not news. This is, you know, things are fine, and the flowers are flowing, blossoming, and stuff. So this is not news. So nobody tells the good stuff, because it's out there. Only the bad stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's not clickbaity enough. You know, we live in such a time that negativism sells much more than positive stuff does. So it's
yeah. See, this is before we started, I told you, I want to have just a nice conversation with you because, I don't, there's too much negativity out there. I want to show that the normal people and the normal world still exists.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you feel like, if you're in the internet, and most people will look at this on the internet, then they pop up this and this and this and bam, 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 bam. Are you prepared for? Mm-mm. And so, yeah, man, calm down a little bit and just enjoy what you have. And, life goes on. And of course,
I mean, that's like there are, I don't know, almost 8 billion of us now. So the percentage of something bad happening, I mean, it's there's millions of things bad happening at the moment in the world. So it's really, I think we are not adapted as a species to kind of digest all the negativity from all around the world, especially in the information age. In the past, it was easier. You didn't have the info what is happening in the world. So nowadays, if you want to have a headache, you can have it in 10 minutes if you just scroll.
Less than 10 minutes, I tell you.
Yeah.
No, but we're absolutely right. In the past, we lived in small villages, and there were 100 people, and okay, Jana, she has a I don't know, she has a wounded knee, and she has a whatever. You know all the illnesses, and you participated in the lives of others, and today it's kind of with all this. Okay, it's a different subject, but with all these influencers out there, where they show you only the good stuff, and so people get such a wrong impression of the world as they never go to the toilet, or they never go have a bad day and just got out of bed and look really grumpy after having danced the night away. So we live. For some, it seems to me that the people live in a fantasy world, or people want to believe it, and
it's just like the Matrix. I mean, it's kind of the same thing,
Yeah, and you make the soundtrack for it.
Eyes.
You make the soundtrack for the new Matrix movie.
Yeah, that would be the best. Yeah. I'm waiting for a call, so yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, after this video, you're gonna it's gonna ring off a hook. But I wanted to ask you this earlier. So with your projects, did you, before Corona, and where we derailed a little bit, did you perform this live, your music? And how did you do that? I mean, with a band, or just you alone as a DJ?
No, it was in a band environment. Like Neurotech was started with 3 other guys, just because I was playing in bands before that. So I already had like, okay, if I'm gonna have a new project, it has to be a couple of people around, and we have to play live. So we did an extensive, not extensive. We did a lot of shows from 2007 to 2011, actually to the first album, which is Antagonist, in 2011. And maybe we did like 20 shows, maybe more. But like it was a standard, I don't know, 2 guitars, 1 bass, 1 drummer, and we had a computer to handle all the samples and backing tracks. But when my music started to get much more overproduced, so to say, it's hard to recreate that live, because the drums aren't as punchy enough, the guitars are not as wide enough, so I kind of grew away from that perspective, because I wanted to do much more studio stuff and much more experimentation, like with making even more electronic music, layering of my vocals, which cannot be replicated live because there are so many of them. So I didn't want to do like a B or C version of the album, so to speak. So if I wanted to recreate it completely, I would do like DJ sets, like you said, because there is too much stuff going on, and if I wanted to sound good, basically I would press play on a computer or whatever.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, you said you use backing tracks, and you could have also, have your other voices on backing tracks as well.
Yeah,
And
I
but
did that, yeah, but it
yeah,
sounds, I don't know, it sounds fake, but not in a good way. I mean, I like stuff that sounds fake, but it kind of works. But stuff like that, I don't know.
no, what I have a personal opinion to this as well, because as much as this would be cool in a way, and you would kind of play it live because you would sing it live, and the others would play parts which you take out of a backing track, so they would play it. So there would be definitely a live element, but what would really would be missing in my view is that real life events could be, you could look at each other and then look at the crowd and say, okay, this last verse we repeat, or this last chorus we play twice in a row. And if you have a backing track, it's set. So you cannot play it. You can play the song again, but you cannot just, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you cannot
you're
just,
locked to a computer, so
exactly. And so
he's the boss. So
and it would be clinical, clean,
Yeah.
always the same. If it's 4:30, it will be 4:30, and it will be done at 4:30, and it ends. There is no extension to this, and this is exactly what life makes it so different, that you can do. You see the people are dancing around, and then let's do it. Hang on a minute, and you cannot. And this would really, and where I'm completely with you. This would be the it would be kind of flat in
sterile.
In this, sterile, exactly. And so,
well, I was actually planning last year for my NeuroWulf, this trance project, to have live DJ sets, because I was when I started, I wanted to have something like, okay, I want to do something live, but not really metal, like having trance. But when I was actually working on a live set for, I don't know, more than a year now. So then I wanted to start this year, this spring. I already have some dates.
What happened?
So,
shit.
It was Corona, and but in a way, it kind of makes me. It made me think that actually, as a DJ artist, especially with working in trance environment and longer instrumental stuff, you actually have more room to experiment live than you have in a band environment with a backing track, because in a backing track you are so fixed with it by the click tracks and everything else. And doing DJ sets live, I mean, it's in a way, even if you're playing pre-recorded stuff and mixing stuff together, it's in a way more improvisational, I would say.
No,
That's
I
kind of my opinion.
Because you can read the room. It's like with a live performance with a normal band. If you don't have backing, you can read the room, and you can see how the energy is. When you make it darker, or
every show is like you're catering to the ambience and the feeling, and you can set tracks on the spot. I had I have a setup with using two different controllers. So I have like pads on one thing and one loops on other thing. The other, I don't know how to say it, player, and songs on another one, so you can have like mashups, really remixing stuff live,
Hmm.
which will hopefully be operational next year when hopefully
Hmm.
this Corona stuff goes away. So yeah.
Yeah. How bad is the lockdown anyway in Slovenia?
Well,
Just for comparison, because I talk with a lot of people from all over the world. So just for last night I talked with a guy from Australia, and they have a severe lockdown for 10 weeks now. So,
yeah, I heard that. Yeah,
so
I mean, for us, it was the I don't know how to say, the standard one was from March to May, I think, this year when everything was closed down. So uh, now in September, no, October,
October.
it's like a soft. I mean, not really soft. I mean, everything is still open. We have to have masks and stuff, but it also it it's getting a bit worse because there's a lot of new cases. So there has been some information from the government that we might shut down again
Hmm.
because of
Okay.
the situation. But I mean, it's okay. It's not as bad as Australia, but you know that could change tomorrow. So we don't know
Hmm.
how
Yeah.
well it will go.
Yeah. No, I mean, until we don't have a vaccine, or
Vaccine.
nothing, everything can flare up, and in Germany it's the same at the moment. Numbers are going up, so not as bad as in France. But it just takes a little bit to the tipping point, and um, you know,
Yeah, the whole ball starts to roll again. Yeah.
hmm yeah, and
So where are you from? From Germany,
from
or which city?
my hometown is called Jena. I don't think you might have heard it. It's you might have heard of Carl Zeiss, shot. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, optical stuff we did here, develop here in the 18th century and stuff. So this was, and there was a big. We got our ass kicked by the French here from Napoleon,
Uh-huh. Okay.
1806. The Prussians got their ass handed to them. Here, Schlacht, Battle Jena Auerstedt was here. Okay, you never heard of this, but I guess you heard of Napoleon. So
Yeah, of course.
Bonaparte. Yeah, we are 300 kilometers away from Berlin. This is usually what I tell the Americans, because this is the
Okay.
only thing we know. There's
Okay.
Berlin, and we are close to Bavaria. So where all the Lederhosen
Yeah. I
and
mean,
the
I've
beer
been to
guys are.
Munich once,
Okay,
so
yeah. So
yes,
we are not so far. We're 2 hours away from Munich, I think. So
in
yeah.
the right direction.
Um, uh, remember what I told you. Uh, um, I think in the left, if you have a map, we are in the right direction, but Munich is in the left from us, of
Okay.
course.
Okay.
So if you
Yeah.
if you look from Munich, yes, it would be from the right.
Yeah. I
Um,
think 300 kilomi kilometers of the left from me would be Switzerland.
I
You know,
see. Okay.
I mean, from the my perspective of Munich, we go up, and then left is Munich, and the
Y- y-
right is kind of
after
Berlin and
after
stuff.
this talk, I'm gonna check the map, because now I want to really
The
know where
geography lesson.
Slovenia is. Yeah, I mean, but like we said before, it's kind of, it's so. I- it's not that I'm gonna go to the train station and go visit you.
Open the map and have a 20-minute geography lesson.
I will do that, because yeah, I mean, I feel a little bit embarrassed, but I'm being just
Oh,
honest here. I don't know, and before I say something stupid, I admit that yeah, because you usually, I went shopping today. I know where the shop is, and this is more important for my daily life than to know where Slovenia at the moment is. I mean, it's good that it's there, and because you're there, and I'm very happy about it. But
well, we are just a bit underneath you. That's basically it.
you're underneath me. Yeah, no, yeah, I think so too. You're closer to Bavaria then, right?
Yep.
Okay,
It's
okay.
Bavaria, Austria, and then it's us.
Yeah, I mean, you already said that you're a little bit younger. I grew up in East Germany, so the part where I am now was the Russian zone, and so yeah, I was 14 as the wall came down, as you might know. The history. I mean, Europe is quite entangled in the history.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is where I am. And in which city are you in?
I mean, I'm from Ljubljana, which is the
Ljubljana.
capital.
That's the capital. Yeah, exactly. See, see.
No.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And I even know how to write it because it's not very easy. It's LG.
Yep.
Ljubljana. This is how Germans would not write like this.
Yeah. I mean, Devin Townsend had the best version of it because nobody, especially from the States, cannot pronounce this name. So he called us "Good evening, lubed vagina." So it made sense. It's almost the same.
It's wishful thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, so this is always a funny thing to ask. So you're in the music business. What was your most starstruck event you had? I mean, what was kind of which stars did you meet where you were kind of flustered and was there some incident like this as you were still going out and performing,
enjoying life,
back then
yeah, back then when we lived in reality,
not in this matrix meta how you say in this strange world we're living now in.
Well, I don't know really. I mean, it was fun talking to like Gene Hoglan, for example, when he toured with Death. He was a drummer for this Chuck Schuldiner project, and he also played on Strapping on Lead with Devin Townsend.
Cool. And you talked with him?
Yeah. He was, I don't know, like 4 years ago, he toured here with, I don't know, I think it was, it was this kind of a Death tribute DTA, and it was a lineup when Gene Hoglan played. And especially for me as a young drummer, I really looked up to him. And we also had a band which was entitled Symbolic, just like it was symbolic after the Symbolic album of Death, which we also had a lot of covers from that band. So it was kind of a retro childhood kind of nice moment. Otherwise, no, seeing Peter Tadgren from Pain and Hypocrisy eating a pizza one time in Ljubljana. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, Peter Tadgren, now with Lindemann and So yeah, this is cool stuff. My guitar player really loves him. He's a big Rammstein fan, and anyway, yeah. So everything from this direction. He was actually clever enough to see them live, and I could have went with him, and I was like, oh no, it's a work week, I don't gonna do it, and shortly after that, Corona came, and now it seems like things are off for whatever. We're on pause at the moment, and
so you didn't see Rammstein live, or? Oh man, you have to.
I know.
I've seen it 2 times, and it's a treat.
And I
for the
lived
eyes and ears.
and I lived in Budapest for a while, for
Hmm
3 years, and we were there, and I was like, oh, it's so expensive, and now
hmm
I'm kind of like, it was so stupid. Yeah. Anyway, I missed a lot of things. So and now it's kind of like, man, and now you cannot go out and do things.
Yeah,
Just
but
yes.
they will do the stadium tour next year. I mean, it's all been rescheduled.
Yeah,
So,
but
but I know,
I think the tickets are sold out.
yeah, the tickets
Mm,
are, I don't know,
mm,
sold out pretty much on every venue. So yeah, I mean, they're so huge that,
mm.
yeah,
But I'm pretty sure we're gonna see this video podcast here, and then they kind of invite me to interview them because
yeah, yeah,
I get a
absolutely,
backstage VIP
absolutely,
pass because
yeah.
I'm here. I will make a very because
Yeah.
when I really think I will be starstruck and be like,
hmm
um, I actually know. I saw actually the bass player once from Rammstein because he used to play in a band, the Instabuggetables,
hmm
and just to tell you how lazy I am um, to get off my ass to see bands live, I won cards to see them live, and I
hmm
wouldn't have went there if I wouldn't have won the cards. So
hmm
I got there,
Okay.
I got in there for free, and that's why I was seeing them and and perform. And he was back when he was playing there, and otherwise I would have not seen him. I really need, you see, I need to
Okay,
change.
you need a bit of kick in the butt, yeah, to see
Exactly.
stuff.
I need, but I have this now with my guitar guy, and also now that's the positive thing. I think with the whole Corona, I mean, it's not positive at all, but I clearly can see now, and I hope a lot of other people can see this too,
hmm
how important it is,
Important. Yeah.
the live thing. And
hmm
honestly, I'm I here the local scene. I was always supporting as much as I could. I have also a family and I have a work life and whatever. So not every night I could go out. Yeah, I mean I'm not the youngest anymore. Yeah, not like
hmm
you. um, no, but so whenever I could, and there was music I liked, I went there. So to kind of redeem myself a little bit. But then going, because Jena is too small for such big bands. So then going somewhere else and then driving for hours and stuff, and
Yeah, it
it's
takes time, man.
yeah. So
Yeah.
and I'm a little bit crazy, as you might have,
hmm
as you might know by now, that I usually get up at 4 o'clock, and then
hmm
do my workout routines, and bring my daughter to school, and then go to work, and so I'm kind of I'm in a way I'm a really boring guy. I have
Okay.
every
Just
day.
like me, yeah.
Exactly like you. No, 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 no. So I'm kind of very in my routine, but
hmm
I realize now even more I need to break my routines once in a while. I mean, honestly, in the past, and I guess you also you can relate to this. I could, make dance the whole night through, and then to straight from the club to work. I
hmm
cannot do this anymore. I
Yeah,
mean,
those
it
days
takes.
are over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these days are over. I need like three days,
Days.
to recover from
hmm
this, but it's still worth it, and I'm gonna do this again as soon as I can get out. Again. So I promise you, whenever you play here,
Okay.
I will be there, and maybe I meet you in Ljubljana, and
Sure,
yeah,
hit me up, man.
uh,
We'll
I
have some
will.
beers and gin
Oh,
tonics and
I'm gin tonic, yes. Beer,
yeah, of course.
I'm not so much into beer.
Okay.
I used to live abroad for a while, And I usually told people who ask me, so why are you not in Germany? And I say, I got kicked out of Germany because I don't drink beer
Mm.
and I don't like soccer. So they
Oh,
kicked me out.
oh.
Oh, you like soccer?
Not really. I mean, I
Ah.
watch the final matches because
Hmm.
everybody else does it, but I'm not.
Hmm.
I'm not into.
Yeah. No. No. Me neither. Anyway. Yeah, sorry. So let's get back to you. I wanted to ask you. You have your live DJ setup. Can you elaborate a little bit what you use? Because you said you use like three different things. Um, uh, do you have can you be a little bit more specific so that
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit of a prototype at the moment because I'm
ooh.
still figuring out. I probably would have figured it out by this year when would start this thing live. But no, it's just I have like mm, just an ordinary Pioneer. I don't know what's called.
DJ
Uh,
mixer.
yeah, it's.
Hmm.
I think I cannot remember the name at the moment, but it has
Okay.
like two tracks on it, and then I have two tracks in the computer, so you have like four decks
Hmm.
running stuff live, so you can interconnect and switch between. Uh, I don't know, tracks and samples. I mean, you can have full songs on there and loops and atmospheres, and also this one has like sample uh, 8 pads of sampling stuff, so you can trigger like FX kicks and uplifters and stuff like that, so you can have easier transitions. So I've been just experimenting for the last year and a half with basically there's so many possibilities that I don't know. It I it takes a lot of time just to figure out what what you can do basically because
Hmm.
there is so much stuff going
Yeah.
on,
I
especially when
hear
you're
you. Mm.
mixing, I don't know, like techno loops with trance melodies and putting that into, I don't know, just mash upping and mixing all kinds of stuff together. So yeah, we'll see next year. No,
Hmm.
I mean,
Hmm.
I have to finish. I mean, I started Neurotech album, so I will definitely be in that mode for another 5 to 6 months. So by the end of it, I'll probably get fed up with metal again. So it will be full NeuroWulf time, I think, in 2021.
Hmm.
So I'll have more answers to all kinds of procedures and techniques and
Yeah.
how it it
Um,
how it all be sounding. Yeah.
so the Pioneer is also standalone, if I get this
Hmm.
right. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, it's like
mm,
a gadget, not like the CDJ version, which all the DJs have, which is a standalone with the players. But I'm using it as a
mhm.
controller basically for the laptop. So you can have uh, you can have as many tracks, I think, as you. Not really. I mean, you can have four tracks of I wouldn't say, yeah, four tracks, two which you can operate with this controller, and two are also uh, in the program. So for my life, I also would have another another laptop with another this Pioneer. I cannot remember
Mhm.
the name
Okay,
right now.
then
Uh,
don't worry about it.
yeah. So and then you can mix like four channels and maybe some more in a small mixer, and then that goes live into the PA system. So you can have even some synthesizers patched in. I mean, if you have two laptops, that's one of my reasons is that you can do a show on one laptop, but if it freezes, you can already have one ready to go and
Yeah,
wired.
one kind of backup thing, because
Yeah.
this is I this is one of the reasons I personally don't want to have a laptop on stage, because
It's fucked up. Yeah.
no, it's kind of if if you forget to turn off the wireless, and then
Oh,
update, and you're done. So
yeah, we
I
had many instances. I mean, on the last show, we did Metal Days Festival in Slovenia in 2013. Uh, the backup laptop actually shut down after 2 songs, and we had to
you have
cancel the show.
to sing
Yeah.
karaoke
Yep.
or to
It
sing a
was
cappella.
yeah, it was done, and we had problems like. I mean, but nowadays it's a bit easier. The SSD drives are better. I mean that I don't think. I mean, there probably were SSD drives in the past, but they were too expensive, because the main thing with laptops in a live environment is all the rumbling. Even if you put like foams and stuff, if it's not an SSD, it really it it doesn't respond well to all the rumbling and lower frequencies, even if it's not rumbling physically, but you cannot feel all the 10 hertz and 5 hertz, which are messing up with the disk stuff.
Yeah, with a hard drive. Yeah, so that is one of the reasons why I don't want to have a laptop on.
Yeah.
I found some, there's other things where you can play backing tracks who are
Like
exactly
dead
designed for this.
players and
Yeah,
mini
exactly.
discs. Yeah.
And so I would. This is kind of because this would be my nightmare. If this happens, I mean, you really it froze, and you have to stop, and you could not.
Yep.
Nothing.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, in the past shows also, yeah, the computer froze, and then we had to wait for, I don't know, 5 minutes to restart it again, and then go on with the show. And before the show, the first one we did which was actually in Austria. Everything was prepared. It was 5 seconds before we started the intro track. I looked to the computer, because I was kind of I don't know what the situation was, but I looked at the computer and it says that the driver or something has been disconnected. So I actually had to. There was a crowd waiting. Everything was set up, and I was basically putting all the cables to the sound card again, restarting Cubase, just making sure that the drummer had audio in his headphones, and stuff like that. So, and then praying that everything would work in the end. So yeah, it was. I mean, stuff like that happens. It's live, but yeah, when you're using computers, yes, everything can happen.
Yeah, no.
I mean, even if you're using guitars and drums, I mean, everything can happen. So
yeah. No, you're absolutely right. It's not just computers. Everything can go wrong, but I mean, at least
yeah, it's live.
you can. Anyway, yeah. But anyway, this is my nightmare, and so yeah, you seem to be pretty calm with it. So
yeah, I mean, we had so much issues with it that that's maybe also one of the reasons why I stopped playing live, because all the technical difficulties, not only with the laptop stuff, but also with the. I mean, we we had a term for it, which was Neuro Murphy, you know, like the Murphy's Law, which was, I mean, so many problems all the time. Guitars didn't work, the wireless got all kinds of stuff, then strings, I don't know, I mean, there was just so many situations on almost every gig that nothing was working as it should. So maybe I took it as a sign to, okay, maybe just focus on studio stuff and leave live stuff to someone else. But, you know,
Okay.
we will see how
Yeah,
it goes
yeah.
in the future.
Exactly, because I think really, and I hope more than I think, that people will be really hungry for
Yeah,
live events
absolutely.
again. You know, because as cool as it is to sit on your couch and watch all what there is on Netflix or whatever, after a while you need real relationship. And just yesterday I was talking about it's like a communion you have with
Yeah.
you know, if I don't know if you're a religious man or something, but you know, most people are today not very religious anymore. But going to a concert, you know, you're
Yeah,
sharing.
it's a religious
It's
experience.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a spiritual. You know, it's kind of you chant together. You do
Yeah.
things together. You dance together. It's kind of very urban, tribal, whatever.
Primal. Yeah.
Primal, exactly. That's
Yeah.
a good thing, and so it's there's really a need for that, and I can, you know, I feel myself now. Yeah, I also need this, you know, to kind of, it, yeah, I mean, express yourself and let out this energy. So anyway, I hope, you know, for the best of us that people are so hungry that yeah, we storm and
Yeah. I mean,
and
it's gonna to be, I mean, just like you said, people are hungry for it because something happens when a lot of people are together and experiencing one thing together. I mean, you cannot recreate this in any kind of VR or live stream, or it's a no-go, no.
yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's nice that we have this, you know.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
it's an additional component of it. Like I remember the first band who, at least I remember, who really did this. You know, was the Einstürzende Neubauten. I don't know if you know them. It's an industrial band from Germany, where Plixar Bargeld, you might have. Anyway, they're really old school. They're from the 80s, but they're still making music, and they were kind of the first who invited people via live stream in their rehearsal space, and then they kind of could say, okay, yeah, this is good, and this could be on the album, and you know, it was kind of it's a cool thing. You can like we are, you know, I'm sitting here and you sit there, and we can talk. That's really cool, but. But of course, better would be you would sitting here next to me, and we could, you know, have a real conversation. But
Yeah.
yeah, you know, this
It's a
is not
very good substitute, but
exactly. It's a good
it will
substitute, but
never
it's
replace the physical
exactly.
chemistry and
Yeah, and also,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
even when you go to a concert and it stings and you can
yeah,
smell the sweat from this guy and the beers
yeah,
pouring over of this and stuff, but it's kind of it makes it, you know, it makes you alive, kind of. It's a really the real thing, basically. Okay, I have only one last question, and you don't have to answer it, of course, if you don't want to. It's kind of, are you working together with a label already, or are you still self-published? And do you have are you in the fortunate position to live from your music already exclusively, or do you do some other jobs like so many other musicians have to do today? Because yeah, it's not the 70s anymore where you sell
yeah,
platinum records.
yeah. No, I'm mainly doing just my own music and doing some stuff on the side, like some mixing and mastering for other people. So I'm not with any label. I'm publishing all my stuff by myself, and I have been doing that from the beginning. I've had a few offers, but they weren't really something that I couldn't do myself, if you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean. It
Mm-hmm.
was just too small, and I have to give up my rights. But nowadays, I mean, it's every every band has the same channels. We all have Spotify, we all have Deezers and Tidals and Bandcamps and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So everything that the only thing is promotion. I mean, the only thing that a label can offer you is promotion. So uh, I don't know would if I would have a very good offer, maybe. But nowadays, I mean, it's just you have to put in the work to get your music out to as many people as possible, and all all other stuff is basically, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're more successful than than other times, and luck is actually also a big factor, even if your music is top notch.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, no,
yeah,
no,
I
this
mean,
is
it's the
unfortunately
internet.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the internet. Some win, some lose. Some you have to play the game as it is, and don't get too occupied with views and streams and stuff like that. Just make the music you want to make, and hope people find it mm, as good enough to support it and to follow you, and everything else is just, I don't know.
No, this is actually a nice end because I thought of two more questions, but I don't. Yeah, this was a nice ending because this is also what I would say because you get the most satisfaction out of it if you do what you love,
Hmm.
and when it's not fake, when it's not
Yeah,
kind of oh, this is just trending, so we need to do this and that, and people
yeah,
can look through that. People
yeah.
know that.
Especially nowadays. I mean, people are. I mean, I don't know. If it was like that 20 years ago before social media, but I think people can really see transparently through an artist when he tries to make something to please
Mhm,
the the all the trends or the old fan base, if you know what I mean, to
mhm,
put the fuel in the nostalgia
mhm.
barrel. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna judge anyone who does this,
Yeah,
but
me neither. Me
but
neither.
for
Yeah.
for me it would be no, as an artist, I mean, what I really love on music, and you certainly too, is that there are no boundaries. There's
Mm.
just what you like and what you don't like. So
Yes.
and that's perfect. I mean, when you like your own music, good. And if nobody else likes it, okay, it's not so good,
Yeah.
but at least you like it. So
Yes. Yeah.
but you should be your first fan, and
Hmm.
so, and not like, oh, but if I do this a little bit more like that, and
Yeah.
then it will be more like, and so
Yeah.
yeah. And
Exactly. Yeah.
unfortunately, it is true. Like we talked in the beginning, that there is a lot of different categories, and there's millions of people out there who make music,
Mhm.
and so yes, there's a big, how you say, a big competition going on there, but um, in the end, I mean, you're in the lucky position you can live from it. Most people cannot. But then,
Yeah.
at least enjoy what you're doing, and when you have a nice hobby and you have something to show for, something that you really love to do, and when you look back in it in 30 years and say, oh, this I did, and blah blah blah, and that's perfect. And that's all that there is, and there is no wasted time.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially that. Yeah. I
So.
mean, time flies.
Mhm.
That's uh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then I will not go into other things anymore because, yeah, I think this is a nice ending segment for the people out there. You can. I will link to your music so people can find you,
Hmm.
and yeah. So then there's just saying thank you very much for your time.
Well,
Um,
thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. My pleasure. And I know Ljubljana, and I will check the map now. and see, if I can find it. But I have an idea now. I have to look
Okay.
below Bavaria.
No worries.
Yeah, sorry. But anyway, this is just me. There's other, like I said, or you said it even better. That's my information diet. I don't need to know everything. I mean, sometimes maybe okay. We're talking more than I thought, but. Sometimes it's you have your cell phone, and sometimes I catch myself there that I say, oh, I can Google this or I can do this and that. Sometimes it's good, of course. This is what I want to end. That things. You should not be so stupid that you cannot function without your phone anymore. That I have Google Maps and I can walk there and that. Of course you should kind of pay attention to your surrounding and not just look on the little screen and I don't know if you heard this. I think in Berlin they put the traffic lights on the sidewalk, so because people look down on their cell phones, and there is the traffic light now on the sidewalk. I think this is really stupid. I mean, this is. Why do you have to be connected all the time and like
they are actually enforcing it to in a way to have phones in their hands and watching it all the time. I mean, it's kind of I don't know how to say. They're not. They're not battling against it. They're kind of.
They kind of help it. They encourage it. No, I see what you mean. They're not saying, okay, this is bad and you should look. Oh no, we make it easy for you that you can look at your phone. It's of course. I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm not claiming. But so I consciously. Sometimes when I need to wait somewhere, I don't take my phone, I don't take anything, and just want to feel boredom and want to feel, and then just look around and see what else is going on. And people lose the ability to be bored. And you as a musician, also sometimes you need to
be bored.
Exactly, you need free space in your head to form new ideas, to form new things. If you always kind of, that's why I liked your information diet words so much, because you need to have some blank spaces in your head to be really open for something new to form, that is not there yet. And if you just imagine, you would be, whenever you have to wait, you would play Candy Crush or whatever you play on your phone, your music would certainly, I'm pretty sure of it, suck. And suffer, of course, because you would be like, you would have ideas, but if you don't do something and you take a nice stroll through the woods to the forest, and then you, and this idea, and then maybe then you take out your cell phone and make that you put in a melody you just had in your head, and then make something out of it later, Anyway, sorry. Now we talked about something else, but I'm really. I hope that people will find also peace with themselves, because often I think that it's kind of they don't want to deal with themselves, so they always keep occupy themselves with whatever we're gonna do. And
people are afraid to be in silence now because they're. I think are afraid what they would find out, what issues they have to resolve within themselves. Otherwise, everything is a distraction from the news, the phone, the social media stuff. But I think we'll get there in a couple of years. I mean, I hope we will get to a certain, I don't know, ethics or just kind of a discipline to figure out what our position is in this information age, social media age. So,
I also think you're absolutely right. But I'm also, I'm quite positive that, for me, it's like the pendulum swings from one thing, from one extreme to the other. So we have to find the middle ground, the equilibrium, to say a hard English word, and exactly to kind of, it's not all bad. It's good that we have it, but it's also, you need to find your borders, when it's enough, and you need to. For everyone it's different. But for example, I'm off Facebook because it was so much stuff going on there, and I was just like, oh no, I cannot take it anymore. So I'm off there. But
I mean, it's like a hammer. You can build a house with it, and you can.
Hit someone really bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, now we are not on the most positive note, but we hope that that
people will understand it. Yeah,
exactly, and people will learn to let's not go in the, like when we go to a concert again, everyone holds up his phone and films it. Who's gonna watch this crap? It's over. It's oversaturated sound and very shaky cam, so nobody is gonna watch that. So leave it. Enjoy the show.
The moment.
Be there in the moment. Exactly.
Enjoy the HD.
Exactly. The highest definition you can get, and enjoy reality.
Yep.
Okay, good. Enjoy reality. Let's keep it there. And thank you for your time. It was really nice to talk with you. I wish you all the best for your next 5 to 6 months of metal. And I hope, of course, you will hit me up when there's something, so I can do my little promotion.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. And all the best. And maybe in 6 months we talk again. When there is something, and then you can show me what's going on. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks for having me. Ciao.
You're very welcome. Bye.